Hey there, welcome. And today, the person I want to feature on this segment about the coach's journey is Pat Ee, and she hails from Malaysia. Welcome, Pat.
Hi Mel, so nice to see you. Nice to see you once again.
Yes, I remember you are from Malacca.
Yes, the
Yes.
historical site of Malacca. Always been
Ooh.
one of the best cities in Malaysia.
Okay, lah. We will say that, and then there's Petaling Jaya, which I grew up in. So not so
All
much
cities have
history.
some their plus points.
Yes. So, Pat, it's been a journey, right? I have known you for a couple of years now, but let's just take a bit of a pause and go back in time to the days before coaching. Tell us what you were doing in those days.
I've been in the corporate line
Yeah.
for close to about 25 years before I decided that, I wanted to take a switch out of corporate, become an entrepreneur, focus on my consultancy. So before coaching, I had this opportunity to be in a variety of roles like sales, marketing, human resources. And I was covering the regions of Asia Pacific, Middle East, which I'm very proud of until today. And I've met so many people.
Yeah.
And I think one of the opportunities then in my organization was they gave me this opportunity to become an internal coach. Internal coach through an internal program so that we could reach out to our employees through programs, development programs. And that gave me a little bit of sparkle on what coaching was. So I guess that sparkle was like a seed that's planted in you. It didn't grow too fast because I was so busy in the corporate world.
Yeah.
I think over time, as I was having conversations with people and in the programs, in the trainings, when you're from one-on-ones to small groups to a larger group, I think that's when the seed started to, develop just a bit further.
Yeah.
And that got my interest where I decided that I really love to focus on people. I have the commercial side, I have the people side, and I made a decision between these two very important bits. I wanted to target people, humans.
Yeah.
Not AI. I really wanted to target real humans because they all have so much potential. Some of it are hidden.
Yes.
So that was just a bit of my life before and how I got into that word, coaching.
So, Pat, I hear that you're in sales and marketing. So that's a bit like me as well. And then what kind of motivated you to get into the HR side of things? Because not often marketing salespeople become good HR people, if you know what I mean. I do hear a bit of that people element there, but I kind of guess there is more than just the liking of people or, being able to connect with people more.
That's a very good question, Mel. I asked myself that question.
Yes.
Do I really want to go to that side? Because it's humans,
Yes,
so
it's
much
true.
emotions, so much challenges. It's easier to drive a KPI, right? Achieve
That's
the
true.
numbers, etc. That's data. And then the human side of it has got conversations, tough conversations, courageous conversations, whatever you name it. It has got the emotional factor of it. It's like, I won't say heaven and hell, but it's just like the yin and yang, if I could say that. It was just that at the age of 38, I woke up and I said, if I'm going to wake up every day, what would I be proud of waking up every day that I can wake up with that sense of purpose? And that's when I connected all the dots in my career journey, with it sales, marketing, event management, I realized I was dealing with people. And that was when I said that maybe it would be good if I could see the other side. And that's when I had a conversation with my boss. Funny thing was, my boss asked me, "Hey Pat, why do you want to go to the dark side?" Yeah. That I still remember the conversation. I'll show him the video that I spoke about him. And from then on, there was no turning back. Of course, it wasn't like a smooth, linear line. But it was a lot of discovery that I had. And I enjoyed the journey of discovery. When I look back through time, no regrets. Full of gratitude because I get to meet so many people, different cultures, different nationalities, different levels, different generations. Trust me. And that's amazing.
Yeah. So well done. I'm sure it took a bit of courage and that resilience inside of yourself, right? To kind of say, this is the time to head out to experience this shift for yourself and work with the best of the best out there. And so that led you to becoming certified as a coach, right?
Yes, yes.
And our paths crossed. Tell us about that journey, choosing a coaching school for you, and then, of course, becoming certified yourself.
Wow. Brings back so much memories of the research that I've done.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it as crispy as possible.
Yeah,
There was so much hype, really, to be honest. There was so much hype
that's true.
at that point of time. And there were just so many coaches, so-called coaches out there. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I was like, okay, I saw a coach, right? Right? I mean, everyone was calling themselves coach. I mean,
Yes.
like coach was just so freely used as though it was the word was like water, so free flow
Yeah.
like water. That got me thinking, right? Remember my interest that I wanted to invest now in human resources. And I knew
Potential.
my plans
Yeah.
one day was to open up my own business. And that's when I asked myself, all right, Pat, if someone's going to call you a coach, are you a coach or coach that went through the right accreditation?
Yes.
You know the foundations, you know the ethics, you know the fundamentals that you can bring someone from point A to point B. So there was a question, right? Then I just asked myself, what if you do and what if you don't? Why not invest in yourself? I mean, if you are going to drive people forward, the first thing you want to do is invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I did. So I did this research online for best coaching school. The usual, right? When you do a prom, it's the best coaching school. Then you see a lot of sponsored schools. I went through. I've never been so detailed, but finding the coaching school somehow or rather was very important because it's an investment. So I searched and I went through. I do not know how I accidentally clicked on Catalyst Coaching. And coincidentally, I had some connections in Catalyst Coaching. I checked in with them how the program
Yeah.
is and so forth. And so it was scary when they told me how intense it was going to be because it was about a 6 to 7 months journey
That's true.
versus some that is a shorter period, go for 5 days, full 5 days, and you're a coach.
Yeah.
So it was either the shortcut or the long cut. The old me would have taken the shortcut. Somehow or other, as I grew more matured, I said that let's stretch the learning journey. Let's learn, unlearn, and relearn. Embrace the journey. See if you can find yourself in that journey. And I decided to go for the long course. 7 months, if I'm not mistaken. But 7 months of the best investment ever. Not only on coaching, I met new people, I met you, I met the master coaches, I met the cohort members. I learned how to do coaching vlogs,
Yes.
hours of coaching vlogs, and I shared it with so many people who were in the middle of their journey of coaching others and they found it so beneficial. So if there's one person I must first thank would be you.
Oh.
Yes, you drove us, and to all the master coaches that was part of the Catalyst Coach. It was so amazing the time spent to guide us through. Yeah, I've grown. I've grown after that 7 months.
And I remember that particular cohort. It was a beautiful, rowdy cohort. Let me just say that.
I must say, we had a lot of colors. It's one of the most cross-cultural
It's
cohorts
true.
that we had.
It's true.
Yes.
Wow. We are certainly so proud of what you have achieved, who you've become, and of course, continuously being such an amazing impact out there in the market. You didn't stop there. You didn't just get certified. You also went for your credentials. So congratulations, right,
Thank you.
on that journey. Tell us a little bit about that journey, especially at the tail end with a bit of the exam, I think.
Patricia and exams were never the best of friends now. But I knew why exams were for.
That's true.
So 7 months after I said that the one thing that you need to do, Pat, is believe in yourself. Start. I think I remember that was the advice you gave each and every one of the coaches who graduated. Celebrate yourself, honor the people around you, one of the things to do is take your action steps now. Don't have these things, am I ready or not? Have I got the best client or not? And so forth. So I'm one of your best students, yeah. So I journeyed that. I ran through team coaching, individual coaching, etc. I loved the journey, I enjoyed the journey. And then while we were collecting the hours as part of the accreditation, that's when I decided that, you know what, let's do it concurrently, because I wasn't the person who was going to rush it and complete it in a short period. Once again, I've matured. I like to stretch the dollar. And I just wanted to make sure as I was collecting the hours, that's just one bit, was also having good coaching conversations that they allowed me to record so I could hear back what were the things that I done well, I could improve on, because, you know, we're not perfect. We're always on this learning curve. And then obviously, then came the exams. And I decided, Mel, I do not know if it's just Libras, I decided to go for the latest ACC accreditation exam that took off, I think, in 18 November 2024. They said that this is going to be the new one. I said, you know what? Be the new one. So I took it. I must say it was tricky. I must say you have to study. You need to know your coaching competencies and ethics really, really well. That is seriously a tip, not to scare you, but to prepare you.
Hey, congratulations. You went through it. You passed, of course. And ACC, there you go. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Mel. Thanks to the whole support crew.
And my question is, now that you're credentialed, how is coaching being a part of that journey of Pat, the human developer? In the work that you do with your clients, how do you foresee that taking place?
Wow, just so much opportunities. I did not say this when I signed that up at that point of time. At that point of time when I signed up was to make sure that I got accredited. I made sure that if I'm serving my clients, I honor their time, their investment. I need to invest in what's needed. That was just then that time. Now, you know that I'm a trainer, a facilitator, a coach. What I see has been great opportunities was this coaching is a conversation. It's a powerful conversation. We don't have to say the word, let's jump into a coaching conversation. Because that scares people off, right?
True.
But I use the coaching techniques. I just use it as a conversation. And it always puts a smile to me when the other person is saying like, damn, Pat, that was one of the best conversations I had. And you have this little smirk because it was an aha moment for them. It could be a roadblock that they had. They had something in their mind. At that point of time, I just had that conversation. And one of the things that you would always do is like, and so
you do it very well, by the way.
I do that, I know. And it's just that, and they go like, I wish I could have this conversation with you earlier. And that's when you know that you've impacted them through a conversation. That's one. The second part is I use this in sessions when I'm doing workshops. All right, when I design workshops, it's not just one way, it's always two ways. And I just love to throw in intriguing questions that goes, whoa, where did that question come from? And then when that question is there, they discuss on it, they picture that question and they try to find out with curiosity, they find the story behind it, they give some context to it, and then they share it back. It opens up to a lot of so much possibilities. It could be a challenge, but it became an opportunity. And that opportunity then became the organization's next steps to look into. And it becomes a continuity, not just, I see you then, but hey, I see you then, but what you did was you brought us through. And when they say this, it just brings me joy, you know, that smile on your face, that smiles your heart, and it's like a little happy feet dancing. But you know that it takes two to tango, two hands to clap. And that has been the joy from individual sessions, conversations to in workshops. And in fact, the third one is something that I'm currently using on myself. I do have roadblocks, Mel. Times that I'm really having it, I have to pause, breathe, and ask myself certain questions. What would I do if I proceed? If I don't, what would I get if I were to do it? So I do self-coaching a lot. It has helped me tremendously in my development. So I only have gratitude, appreciation, and a whole lot of abundance on this journey that I've been in. Seriously, so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well done. I am beaming with joy and pride of really everything that you've said so far and how you've just carried yourself through. I love the last point, especially because what you're saying is so essential, right? We're only as good as how aware we are about ourselves in the mirror. And that mirror is that coaching conversations that we can have with ourselves first. And then, of course, extend that to others around us. Any last words for today, Pat? For anyone's out there thinking about, shall I become a coach or shall I learn about coaching skill set or not?
Now, if there was one that I could give, is firstly, you need to trust the process of the coaching journey. There is no shortcut. There could be if you opt for it. But how much you gain from it, I don't know. But if you're willing to trust the process, go through the journey, use it on yourself first before you use it on others, and you got the right mindset to learn, unlearn, and relearn and drop whatever freaking ego you have, go for it. That's my advice. I've chunked it a few points into one sentence, but drop the ego. It's always something to learn about yourself or to coach yourself. So that's my advice, even to myself until today.
Thank you. I received that as well for myself. It's so, so important. Hey, Pat, really a pleasure speaking to you again. And so happy that you're part of the alumni of Catalyst because you are certainly one in a million. So thanks again. And I just can't wait to see so much more of what you will continuously do in greater levels of impact out there. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Now, once again, Mel, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be in person with you. All right, even though we're virtually apart, but to even sit in this session with you, it's an honor. And thank you so much for the time. Let's give a short celebration, as we always say. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, thank you so much, Mel.
And take care.
Bye bye.